Well, hello, I'm not Chuck, and this morning I'm getting a serenade from a mockingbird. He sings for me most every day. One of the first things I want to tackle this morning is working on my little travel trailer. As you can see, it's a 17-foot Starcraft, and it's cheap. I don't necessarily mean it was cheap to buy, I just mean it's cheap. It's made cheaply, and so most of the time there's something wrong with it, something that needs adjusting, replacing, repairing, whatever. Let me show you what I'm dealing with today. Most RVs are equipped with some variation of this thing. In my case, it's labeled Systems Monitor, but it might be labeled something else, Micro Monitor, Mini Monitor, whatever. But they basically do the same thing. They allow you to monitor the level of battery charge, the amount of water in the fresh tank, the amount of material in the black tank, and the amount of material in the gray tank. Let me show you how this one works. I press the battery button. It says my battery is 2/3 charged. I think it's probably fully charged, but anyway, some indication. The freshwater tank also says 2/3. Again, I think it's probably full. The gray tank shows empty. That's correct. The black tank shows empty, and that's correct. The problem is the black tank always says it's empty, even when I happen to know that it's not empty. So today I want to find out why the indicator is not showing me what's the level is in the black tank, and see if I can repair it. First thing I need to do is go under the trailer and see what I can see. I think there's a hint to the problem. At least it's a problem. I don't know whether it's the problem that I'm trying to repair or not, but I suspect it is. It is a wire that's coming off the black tank. Let's see if I can get under there and take a little closer look. Yeah. You can see there's a bundle of wires there. A red one, a yellow one, a green one. I don't know, maybe a pink one, and that white one that's hanging loose. Now, generally, in an RV, white is used for ground. I don't know that that's the case here, but it's certainly worth looking into. Let me scoot a little bit further and get a little closer. All right, so looking at that wire, it used to have a connector on the end of it, but apparently it's been, oh, and there's a little paint, so there's a hint. The connector itself looks like it's been rubbing, probably dragging for a little while. I'm surprised I hadn't noticed that. I don't think it has been dragging very long, or I would have noticed it, because the trailer is up pretty high and I think I would have seen it. Alright, but the question is, where does it go? Well, since it had a connector on the end, probably a ring terminal or a spade terminal or something, it was probably connected to either a electrical spot like that, which I don't see any other places on this end of the tank where it could have been connected. Looking in there, I see another connector, and maybe there's a third one, I don't know. Yeah, that green wire goes to one. Let's see. Yeah, The green wire goes to a screw connector. I guess that's either pink or orange, goes to one. The red connects to this bigger red wire. Alright, and then they all come back together. They're bundled up there, except the white one's not in that bundle. So, once again, that leads me to believe that it's probably a ground wire. But if so, where was it connected? Well, if it had a terminal on it, it probably was connected with a screw to something. Here's a possibility. I don't know whether I'm too close for you to see that or not. See right there? It's looks like an external tooth lock washer, or the print of one. I can't tell. It feels like the washer's still there, and in the center you can kind of see where there is a screw that was broken off. So I'm going to guess that came over here probably when the trailer was built. Somebody over tightened that screw, broke it, and the only thing that was holding this on there was probably the paint. Yeah, that external tooth lock washer is still there. I can feel the edges. So I'm thinking that's where it was, but rather than just hook it up and hope I don't make smoke, I think I'll see if I can find some documentation to make me sure that that's where it goes. This is a document that I found online. As you can see right here, it's labeled micro monitor, and there's a drawing of a monitor that looks very similar to the one that's in my travel trailer. It's probably not specifically for the unit that is in my travel trailer, but I believe that it's close enough that I'm going to trust the wiring diagram that it presents. It's labeled here MP5 probe installation, and it tells how to mark the tank and so forth. So I'm assuming this is a document for people who are actually installing this monitor and all of the wiring and the connections that go with it. If you look, they have 3 tanks: a fresh tank, I'm assuming that's fresh water, a gray tank, which we know what that is, and then this one is labeled holding tank, but I believe that is actually the black tank, what I call the black tank. You can see it has a larger exit hole drawn than the gray tank does, which would tend to support that this is very likely the black tank. Now, each of these lines represents a single wire, and as you can see, if we concentrate on the holding tank, we can see the 3 connections that terminate into that little bundle, and then another wire that comes off that, which is labeled here as brown, and goes into the monitor. And then down here is another wire that's not in the bundle, and it's labeled white, and it's 20 AWG, which stands for 20 gauge, which is a relatively small gauge of wire. And if we follow that line to this line, see the dot there means they're connected, up to this dot, over across here and down to here, that is the symbol for ground. And further, if we look up here in the wiring legend, we can see that white is labeled ground. Now I realize this drawing is maybe a little small for you to read, so I'm going to make a PDF of this document and put a link to it in the description of the video, so that if you'd like to have your own copy of this to either study or to confirm what I'm telling you, or perhaps to keep on file in case you have a problem with one of your tanks and need a reference document, you'll have it available. Anyway, that satisfies me that the loose wire that I have is actually the white wire and should be connected to ground. And I'm going to go back and figure out exactly what I need in order to make those connections. Make the connections, and then I'll be back with you. All right. Well, now that I'm sure that that is in fact a ground wire and is supposed to be connected to ground, and because I now know that, well, actually I already knew that the ground connection is the frame of the trailer. That's true all over the RV. The metal frame and anything electrically connected to the metal frame is ground. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to snip off that remaining part of a connector. I'm going to strip the wires, and I'm going to clip on a new connector there. Then I'm going to drill a new hole in close to this one. I'm not going to worry with trying to drill that one out, but I am going to drill fairly close to it. Make sure I got enough slack in my wire. Not much, but enough. I'll probably edge the hole maybe a little bit that way in order to make sure I have enough wire to get there. I can always, I think, arrange for a little more slack by taking that tie wrap off the bundle there. So anyway, I want to connect it back here. Now, if I was in an emergency situation or I wanted a quick fix, I could just strip this wire and fasten it under a screw that's connected to ground, like fasten it under that screw as a quick fix. But I don't want to do it that way. I want to try to do it the right way. So I'm going to drill a hole close to this. I'm going to get a metal self-threading screw, and I'm going to find another star washer, put a ring terminal on this, and put it back, hopefully without breaking the screw off like they did at the factory. All right, I'm not going to show all that process because I think you know how to do that. And but I will come back and show you the finished product in a minute or two. Hopefully it won't take long. These are the tools that I need in order to begin the repairs on the white ground wire connected to the black tank in my travel trailer. First of all, I need a small pair of wire cutters. I want to cut that damaged terminal off the end of the white wire. I want to cut the wire as close to the terminal as possible so as to leave the wire as long as possible. The next thing I need is some way to strip about 1/4 of an inch of insulation off the wire. I want to not waste any wire by stripping it too far, and 1/4 of an inch of exposed wire will be plenty. Be careful and try not to nick any of the wires inside the insulation. There are 7 tiny little wires in there, and you want to keep them all intact as best you can. The next thing you want to do is to twist those 7 wires together so that they don't become frayed. And you need a ring terminal similar to this one. You'll notice that this one is for 22 through 16 gauge wire, and that'll be just right for the white ground wire connected to the black tank. You'll also need some way to crimp that. I have a pair of crimpers that are the Southwire brand. I think I got them at Lowe's. If you're going to buy some, buy a decent pair, because if you buy something really cheap, they won't work well and you'll be unhappy with them. I'm going to use this notch in order to crimp this terminal onto the wire. You can see that this notch is labeled 22 through 18. That means 22 gauge through 18 gauge wire. So I'll slip the stripped end of the wire into the shank of the ring terminal, put the assembly inside this area, and crimp the terminal down onto the wire. It's easier to do than it is to discuss. Here's some more of the tools and material I'm going to need to finish the repairs on the travel trailer. The first thing I'm going to need is a self-threading screw. Now the box says it's a self-drilling screw, and I suppose if you were drilling through some thin sheet metal, the point of that screw would penetrate the sheet metal, but it would take a very long time if it ever actually went through the steel frame of the trailer. So I'm not going to try to drill with the screw. I'm going to pre-drill a hole. This drill bit is 7/64 of an inch of diameter, just slightly smaller than the non-threaded shank of the screw. Then I'm going to take this socket, put it in my drill, and without anything on the screw, I'm going to drive this screw up into the pre-drilled hole. That will cut the threads in the frame of the trailer. Then I'm going to reverse my drill, take the screw out of the frame of the trailer. I'm going to assemble the material in this order, this being the wire terminal with the wire already connected. I'm going to face the terminal this way so that this portion of the shank of the terminal in the same direction as the head of the screw. Then I'm going to put my external tooth lock washer on, take my screw, chuck it back up in the drill, and run the screw home. As the screw approaches the bottom of the trailer frame, I'm going to be very careful because I don't want the screw to bind and suddenly twist and jerk my wire and pull the wire out of the connector or break the wire. Once that's done, I believe I'll be ready to show you the finished product. Alright, let me move down and we'll take a look. You can take your first look at the finished job. As you can see, there's the wiring bundle. Now the white wire is, most of the slack is out of it, but it's not banjo tight. And there's the connection to the frame. Looks like everything worked out just fine. Let's go inside the trailer and see if the monitor's working correctly. What I'm doing now is holding my foot on the toilet flush lever to pump fresh water from the freshwater tank into the black tank. As you can see, the neck of the black tank is now full of water, so we're going to call the tank itself also full. Now let's check our monitor and see how that's looking. First of all, our battery is still showing 2/3 full, and the voltage from the little meter that I keep plugged in down here is showing 12.4 volts. So that seems about right. The freshwater tank, which we've just pumped a lot of water out of, is now showing only 1/3 full, which is also probably correct. Gray water tank still showing empty, which is correct. And the black water tank is now showing full. So it looks like that's a job completed. Probably lots more to come. But if that's the end of this video, I hope it has been of some benefit to you. Be sure and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and watch for the next video, which will be out before too long. Don't forget, I'm not Chuck.